A tech-savvy rider implemented new technology to modify his 2015 GL1800 Honda Goldwing. That Goldwing later became known as Black Flash, an extreme lighting show bike. What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Carnell, the tech-savvy rider. Today is July 21st. It's a Sunday, roughly about 7 o'clock. The task for the day, what I'm going to go over with you today is called verifying the TPMS and high pressure sensor validation. Meaning that after my last video, there's a process you can do to verify that the sensor actually took. Remember, I was making a video showing that I replaced my rear tire pressure sensor and the TPMS light was coming on, and after I reset it with the VT15, at this point, this test I'm finna show you now is what you can do to verify that the sensor actually took. The VT15 validate the tire pressure sensor, make sure it actually is working. And this is a process you can do to verify that it did validate the new tire pressure system. Alright, now you only have to do this for two reasons. Well, there's two reasons you have to do this. One, you already used the VT15, turned off reset your TPMS, and the TPMS indicator light came on somewhere down the road. Okay, what you're gonna have to do at this point, if it comes back on after you have already reset it with the VT15, then you'll have to go through another process, and that's what I'm trying to show you now. Okay, first thing you got to do is go back and redo the tire pressure system reset. Go back to that video that I did showing you how to reset it using the VT15. Once it's reset, then this is the process you're going to have to go through. Okay, first thing first, I want to make sure that you all see that my TPMS has been reset with the VT15, meaning the TPMS light is actually off. All right, as you can see, my TPMS is off along with the low pressure indicator. Both of them are off. I turn the bike on, it's good to go. Now, if I was to ride my bike, and this is another scenario, if I was to ride my bike down the street and the TPMS indicator comes back on, that means something is still wrong with the TPMS system. Low pressure meaning that there's a tire pressure system. TPMS meaning there's something wrong with the entire system. So now you have to go back in and verify what's going on. All right, so after you reset your tire pressure system using the VT15, you have to take off your seat, go back up on the left side frame. That connector that I showed you in that last video with the red cap on it, you have to shorten out that plug again with a fork connector. I got tired of moving my seat off, so what I did was add in an extended wire from that plug going back to my trunk. So that same plug that I was shortening out under my seat in my last video, I basically ran it to my trunk. I'm lazy, and I got tired of removing this seat, so I end up running it back here. So under your seat, find that red plug, remove the cap, shorten it back out. Okay, shorten it back out, and you're good to go. Put your seat back on. Once you're good to go, you're gonna come back up, and before you turn the ignition key, I want to tell you that your TPMS and your low pressure system light are gonna come back on. They're gonna stay on while it's being shorted out with the plug. We're gonna take the bike for a short run, maybe up the street, around the corner, and come back to the house. Now, during that process, the low pressure indicator is the test for the front tire. The TPMS indicator is the test for the rear tire pressure system. So in other words, when I start rolling on my bike, these two indicators should start going off. Low pressure for the front tire, TPMS for the rear tire. Whichever indicator do not turn off by the time I make it to the house, that's the sensor that needs to be replaced. Now keep in mind, I already replaced the rear sensor tire pressure system on Black Flash. Now I do have a feeling that when I try to validate this, it's going to either validate and my tire pressure system is good for both tires, or it's going to indicate that either I bought a defective rear tire sensor, or my front tire system is now bad. So let's go through the process and see what happened. Okay, I got Black Flash 2 connected, as y'all can see. Real quick, I ended up, the headlights that I made, I ended up putting them on the side of my cargo, and I got my rolling eyes in the front. So I got headlights in the front, got headlights on the side, but you all won't see none of that because I'm not displaying it. Just letting you know it is complete, and that's what it looked like. I'll probably take a night ride on it with Lady Luck somewhere down the road, test it out, but right now I just want to test it to see exactly how it's going to feel pulling Black Flash 2 on the dark side. Now, let's get to it. Let me get it off the center kickstand. Okay, now the minute I turn the ignition switch and turn the bike on, the TPMS and the low pressure is on. Now, whichever indicator does not turn off, that's going to indicate which sensor is actually bad. Low pressure is the front tire, TPMS is the back tire. Let's get started. Let's go. Oh man, I can actually tell you that it feels good pulling the trailer on the dark side. So I can see why dark side riders enjoy pulling their trailers, because it feels actually good. If you look at my dash, the TPMS indicator is now off. That means that the rear tire pressure system is good to go. It is validated and it is good to go. It is set. I am now waiting on the low pressure indicator to go off, which will represent my front tire. If I make it all the way back to my house after going around this block and going back home, if that tire pressure, if that indicator is still on, the low pressure, that means that my front tire high pressure, my front tire pressure system is also bad. So that means I should have bought two sensors instead of one, because the tire shop messed up both of them. So let's find out. Yeah, Black Flash 2, I don't even feel it. It feels good back there. This is my little neighborhood. It's been 100 and some degrees. I think about 101 all day. And here it is, 7:39. And it feels like it's about 85. So that's not so bad. I got a little bit over 100 miles on the dark side. Like I said, I was never going to talk about it, but I can tell you for a fact that I am enjoying this. It was like relearning my bike all over again, but once you get the hang of it, hey, I actually like it. So you'll never hear me talking about the dark side anymore. I am done with it. Later Luck will probably get on it here pretty soon. Not today, because I'm tired. And she'll tell me about the different she feel. Okay guys, I made it back to the house, and the low pressure indicator is still on. So that's telling me I should have bought two sensors, one for the front and one for the rear. Now if I turn this off, which I am about to, and shorten out that plug, take the fork connector out of it, turn the bike back on, that indicator, low pressure indicator, will be off. The TPMS and the low pressure tire system indicator will be back to normal. But somewhere down the road, when I get ready to take off, my TPMS is going to come back on, indicator is going to come back on, because my front tire sensor did not validate during the testing phase of this task. So to verify what I'm saying is true, let me take a look, put my gloves back on right quick. Turn the ignition, start the bike. There we go. TPMS and the low pressure indicator is off. But somewhere down the road, maybe a good 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the road, my TPMS is going to come back on because my front tire pressure sensor did not validate. Meaning I have to get me a front tire sensor. Okay guys, that's my task for the day. I just wanted to share that with you, and I only wanted to share this with you is because after I reset my new sensor for the back tire, the next day I got on my bike, got to work, and the TPMS light indicator came on. So I was like, I got to find a way to make sure that I did not buy a defective new tire sensor. That's not the case. The new tire pressure system is good. My front tire sensor is going bad. So I got to replace it too. So the next time you see me, my next video, my TPMS indicator might be on, because I have to run down to Shawnee, Oklahoma and pick up another tire sensor or order it, whichever one I feel like I do. Okay, that's my spiel for the day, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, comment, tell me what you think, and hopefully here pretty soon, me and Lady Luck will be getting on the bike and having some fun on the dark side, talking to you guys. That's my spiel for the day, YouTube. Y'all have a good one. GoPro, stop recording. A tech-savvy rider implemented new technology to modify his 2015 GL1800 Honda Goldwing. That Goldwing later became known as Black Flash, an extreme lighting show bike.